wages under attack. What do? We also repeat this. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. All right, great. Okay, I'm going to go to the front. We're going to walk down on campus walk.
That's what we'll see this dispersed.
Yeah. That's why it's...
To correct an injustice. The Ford government passed a law which restricted our wage increases to 1% a year. And what did the workers do? We do what we always do, we fought back. And many unions got together, filed a legal challenge. UFA, the Faculty Association, they were part of that challenge, and we won. The court struck down that unjust law. They said it violated the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, one of the highest laws of this land, and so that law is no longer in effect. And so what we're saying to this university is, the courts have done their part, now the York administration needs to do their part and pay us the wages we deserve. Now, when we're talking about correcting unfairness, I think we also need to talk about management pay versus the workers' pay here. Because all of the faculty who do the research and the teaching administration, the teaching assistants, the staff, we've all been subject to 1% pay increase per year. But if you look at management wages, which you can find, it's public. If they earn over $100,000 a year, which a lot of managers here do, you can see how much they've been paid, and a lot of them have been getting a lot more than 1% a year. How is that fair? That's what I would ask Ron DeLenton. How is that fair? This law that's been passed, it hasn't just happened at any time. It's happened at one of the highest inflationary periods in this province's history. And so, while our wages are stuck at 1%, I think you'll notice if you go to buy clothing for yourself and your kids, that's increased at a lot more than 1% a year. If you go to buy groceries at the grocery store, that's increased a lot more than 1% a year. If you go to renew your mortgage or you want to pay your rent, you're probably seeing that that's increased at a hell of a lot more than 1% a year. So how is it fair that the faculty, the staff at this university only get 1% of wage increase a year? It's not fair. It's not fair. So Rhonda Lenton, if she's up there, I hope she can hear us, because what I say to her is, when fair wages are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? That's right. Now, this administration, they like to talk about the students. It's all about the students. We care about the students. And we are. We're all here for the students. But I was a student at York University. I did my undergrad here. And when I was a student, I remember thinking about what I wanted from this university, how I wanted them to spend my tuition dollars. And I thought, I hope there's really good faculty who are on the cutting edge of research that will teach me really good stuff. And I didn't think about it at that time, but I thought, you need to have good pay, good wages to attract those kind of folks. I thought about when I'm in class, I want my class sizes not to be too big. I want to have lots of teaching assistants who get a fair wage. And I thought about when I go to the registrar's office or the parking office, I don't want to stand in line for an hour because they don't have the staff there. So I want lots of staff to deliver those services. I hope the place is clean. I hope the place is working properly. And you need the staff to do that, and you need to pay them fairly. But what I don't ever remember thinking when I was a student here at York University, I don't remember thinking, I hope they take my tuition fees, and I hope they hire a whole lot of senior managers, assistant vice presidents, associate vice presidents, directors, associate directors. I don't remember thinking, and I hope they take all those senior administrators and give them big fat raises with my tuition money, but keep the workers who actually deliver the service to me as low as possible in their pay. I don't remember thinking that then, and I don't think students think that now. This university and the president of this university loves to talk about something called the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And it's a bunch of goals, they're good, it's good stuff, right? How to make the world a better place. But what I've reminded the president of this university, and I will keep reminding her, is the number one goal, the number one UN SDG, no poverty. No poverty. There's other good stuff there, health and well-being, decent work, but I noticed that this university has been very happy for a very long time to pay workers minimum wage. Hundreds and hundreds of workers at this university get minimum wage, even in USA, even in QP 1356, very close to minimum wage, no benefits, no paid sick days, even during a pandemic. And when we said to the university, you can give benefits to all of the USA members who don't have them right now for $150,000, this university, they said, no, no. We can't afford that. This university has over $1 billion a year budget, $1 billion a year. And so that's why I'm so happy to see everyone here, because this is what's going to move the needle. People coming out and demanding better for themselves. So good work, everyone who's come to this. The last thing I'm going to say, I remember a USA member in Unit 2, no benefits, very low pay, coming to me and saying, Sonny, you know, the thing that I'm most worried about is having a tooth problem, like having some serious dental issue, needing a root canal. And the reason I'm worried about that, it's not because of the pain, it's not because of the dentist, the drilling. I'm worried that if I have to pay for a root canal, I'm not going to be able to pay for my rent. I'm not going to make my rent payment. And I just think, how is it that in one of the richest countries in the world, in one of the biggest universities in the richest country in the world, that someone has to worry about making the rent if they have a problem with their teeth, with a problem with their health? Shameful. Shame on this university.
Dental plan.
So again, I'm so encouraged to see everyone here. I'm joined, again, I'm Sonny, I'm the president of USA. I'm joined by my colleagues from UFA, QP 1356, QP 3903. And so this administration needs to know that we are all here in solidarity. Not just solidarity with our own unions, all solidarity as workers at York University, and we're all demanding better. So, thank you everyone. I want to invite my colleague, maybe Chris from 3903. Would you like to say a few words?
Where's USA? Where's UFA? Where's QP 1356? Where's QP 3903? I'm a little biased, that's my union. I'm Chris Bailey, I'm the lead steward for Unit 2 Contract Faculty at 3903, QP 3903. Yeah, what do we want? When do we want it? Now! Right on. Well, look around you right now. We've got everyone here together. This is the first rally that we've done this fall together, and it's not going to be the last one. This university, I've been here a while. We've negotiated with York along, like every round is a difficult one. We've been, in my own tenure, we've been on strike 3 times. Okay, it's always a fight for these people. They really care more about their own salaries and their own bonuses, which weren't, put under the wage restraint that Doug Ford imposed on workers, on working families. They basically get a free pass, and we have to take the recession. We're the ones who have to tighten our belts. We're the ones who have to not take, our families to a movie or go out to eat once in a while and feel like we can live with dignity. We're worrying about paying rent in a city where there's a huge crisis of affordability. There's a huge cost of living crisis, and our wages have just eroded. They haven't stayed the same. They haven't risen really by 1%. They've eroded because everything else keeps moving. Right? Shame. Shame on this university. Now, we're also, part of our members, or some of our members are also students. They're grad students here, and we do a lot of the teaching at York. We do 60% of the teaching at York University. We get shitty wages, okay? When I started, we could barely survive in the summer because we tend to get less contracts, fewer work opportunities, and we have to work outside the university to cover that. Now it's totally unfeasible, okay? And that is a big problem because, as Sonny was saying, people like Dan Bradshaw, people like Adam Bereza, people like Lisa Phillips, and people like Rhonda Lenton get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. We went through a pandemic. We had people die. We had people who we love die in this pandemic. And they were ratcheting up the screws. They were not helping us. Okay? We met them every day, well, every week, or at least every other week, talking about health and safety on campus. They shut us down. They tried to ignore us every single meeting. We tried to negotiate a fair contract in 2021, and they would meet us, but they brought it all the way to a strike mandate vote. They stalled and stalled and stalled. They thought that they could beat us, right? They ignored our job stability program for, well, I guess since 2021. We were meeting them and there was no movement. There was no real movement at the table. That's a damn shame. Now we're here. What are we gonna do? Students, right? We were talking about tuition earlier. Let me break that down for people here. Tuition fees for domestic students in undergraduate. They're about $6.4 thousand. Okay, shame. For graduate students, they're $7,000 and change. Okay, for international students, it's 6 times as much. Okay, for undergrads, and it's 3 times as much for graduate students who come here. Are we trying to put people into poverty before they're able to start their careers? Hell no. That's what the university wants to do. Where's the money go? Into their pockets. We see resources and utilities and services here decline because they're stretching every dollar. They're saying that there's no money. We're finding mice in our classrooms. Squirrels are eating through the wireless system in 2015. That was a problem. And it hasn't been fixed because there's not enough people. IT, I don't think, even has an office now. But we know Rhonda Lenton has an office, and they locked the door, so we can't get in. Shame. So, we're talking a lot about Doug Ford, we're talking a lot about York University administration. But look around you again. We're here together, okay? What we're doing here matters. They may think that they can ignore us. They may think that we're isolated and alone. They want to make us think that we don't have any power. Well, let's prove them wrong right now. Do we have any power? Yeah! Do we have any power? Yeah! Do we have the power? Yeah! The people united will never be defeated. When we fight, we win. When we fight together, we win big. Let's come together this fall. We're going to show them who's boss in this university and in this city. We're going to fight for students. We're going to fight for workers. Together, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you.
But right now, the state we're in is we can't provide services. We don't have enough staff. We can't hire proper staff. The gap between the tradesmen inside and outside is $16. You can never overcome that gap. Shame. And the students are going to suffer for that because as time progresses, the services will continue to drop and the students will suffer. And then the administration's going to want to up their tuition, which is going to create a lot more of a perfect storm, which is what which I had to talk with Dan Bradshaw the other day because he stopped me, and I told him, be prepared for everything that is bad coming to your university. Be prepared for everything that is bad coming to your university, including a strike from 1356, which has never been on strike, and be prepared. So, all I want to say is thank you all for coming, and as you can see, we are all united, we're all in support of each other, and because we will achieve a lot.
I just want people to do a little thought experiment. I want you to imagine tomorrow, all of the staff show up for work, but none of the management show up for work. What would happen? Things would be fine. Things might be better. Imagine the converse happened though. Imagine none of the staff showed up to work, but all of the management showed up. What do we think would happen? It would be chaos. This place would grind to a halt. We're the folks that make this university work. We're the ones that are indispensable. We're the ones that deserve a hell of a lot more than 1%. So I say, when fair wages are under attack, what do we do?
Unite, fight back!
What do we do?
Unite, fight back!
Yes. I'm going to introduce my colleague from UFA here to give some remarks.
My colleagues have been so excellent and eloquent, and I have very little to say, except it's a bittersweet experience to stand in front of you today. It's sweet to see all of my colleagues in all of the different unions and associations coming together and speaking with one voice. It's bitter because we have been subject to Bill 124, which is a direct attack on our ability to negotiate with our employer in good faith. Make no mistake, it is the banality of evil, and it has been lifted, finally. And it has been lifted not through some benevolent dictator. It has been lifted through workers' power, people coming together, people working together despite differences, always working together to the same end. Now, it's a joke about York that the administration at York are rated #1 in their interest in #1 ratings. I invite the administration at York to be #1 in a different area, which is good governance. And good governance means caring about the people that have carried us through a pandemic, that have kept the university open, that have done a complete turnaround to help facilitate, move all of the courses online so that students can continue to study. That is a massive achievement, and it should not be rewarded. It should not be rewarded by a limitation on their remuneration, especially in this time where inflation is running like wildfire, that the supermarkets are gouging us, and it's becoming more and more difficult to look after our own and look after our own families and care for our colleagues. So I invite the administration to come down from this modernist Tower of Mordor and treat fairly with all of the people of Middle-earth, that's us by the way, okay, and guarantee a fair and equitable settlement for all of us. I thank you very much.
Thank you. I believe there's someone from YFS. Ashley.
Hey, my name's Ashley. My pronouns are he, him. I am the president of the YFS. We're the York Federation of Students. we just wanted to come out and say that the York Federation students are in full support with every single union on this campus. Every single union on this campus, every single person on this campus, every single worker on this campus deserves fair wages, deserves to not stress out about going to a restaurant, taking your family out, right? Everybody deserves to not have to worry about that. We're in full support. The cost of living is incredibly expensive. Students are struggling, workers are struggling, right? And like Sunny was talking about, the students on this campus will eventually become the workers on this campus, right? It is our fight as much as it is your fight. And so we need to be united in the fight. And like folks have already said, the upper management that works in this building, they do not make up the university. We make the university. We make sure that the university runs. That is y'all, that is the students, and together we can never be defeated. This year, our theme for York Fest is "There's no campus without us." Right? The campus is not made up of the senior administration. The campus is made up of us. And the us doesn't just include students. The us includes every single one of y'all here today fighting for a better future. Okay? You'll have our full support. The students understand the struggle as well, right? And ultimately, our learning conditions are your working conditions. And so we know that we must fight for a better future for all of us, and you have the student support. Thank you, everybody.
Isn't that amazing? Faculty, staff, TAs, students, all standing together, all demanding fair wages. Good work, everyone. Good work. Well, we're going to be meeting with Rhonda this Friday to discuss options. I think we should. So we'll let you know when it happens. But I think it's so important that they can see everyone here right now. I just want to say good work to everyone who came. And I think we'll wrap things up. I know a lot of USA folks and QP folks have to get back because it's lunch. So if you have signs, if you want to put them back. Oh, yeah, sure. Ashley wants to say another thing.
I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention this earlier. Listen, we talked about tuition fees rising, right? Students are struggling, and that money is not going to the workers on this campus. It's going right upstairs here, right? Students are struggling. We cannot pay for anything. We cannot survive. This is not sustainable. So later this year, on November 8th, the students are running a day of action. It's a national day of action with student unions, colleges, universities all across this country. And on November 8th, we're going to be taking the streets, going down to Queen's Park, and demanding that tuition fees get lowered. Okay? And in order to do that, we will need support from every single union on this campus, and you know that we will have your back in your fight, and we're gonna make our voices heard, okay? Rhonda cannot hide in that office forever, okay? She needs to come down, she has to answer to us, and we will do it together, and we'll be united in that effort. Thank you very much, just wanted to plug that as well.
All right. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, guys.
Hi everyone, my name is Ali Reza Gorgani. I use they them pronouns, and I'm the president of Graduate Students Association York South. Thank you. I really appreciate Ashley's speech 100%. I want to second that and also say that this is just the beginning this year. I am a migrant worker student, and I'm a TA, so I'm a member of QP 3903. I am part of student movement as well, and we're seeing different forms of discrimination, okay? And York administration is getting used to it. We never get used to it. This year, we want to fight for migrant students. We want to fight for better housing for students. We want to fight for fair wages for TAs, for staff members, for all workers on campus, and we want actually support and go beyond the campus. We have power, we are workers, and we want to support each other. That's all, thank you so much.
Okay, this event is not the end, this event is the beginning, and we're gonna keep holding this administration accountable. So thank you for coming, everyone. Take care.